What's up guys, Skidder here. Today, the new hot location is Fogwell's gym. Both players get double boosters this game. Okay, this is actually a new location as well, so if you don't want to miss out on anything, definitely slap the like button real hard and sub to the channel for free for more awesome Marvel Snap content. Now let's begin. If we can get double boosters, then well, all you gotta do is survive till turn 6. Then you get 6 and doubled 12 boosters. Awesome. The thing is, how do you survive turn 6? So what we gotta do is don't let your opponent snap and then force you to retreat. That's it. So I'm gonna recommend some sort of decks that are good on turn 6. You have an explosive play, so even if they snap earlier, you will not be afraid of them. The first deck I recommend is the Toxic Miracle deck. Yup, this deck revolves around using Hazmat to get minus power on their cards. And of course, if you play Hazmat, you know how good Luke Cage really is. So your own cards don't get affected by the power reduction. Okay, so let me talk about the basics of this deck. To set up for the final Hazmat Luke Cage play, you have something else to do. So let's say you get down a Sabu early on, that's the dream, because you will be able to play your 4-cost cards at a discounted price. So what you want to do is Sabu, then get the Wong down, and then you Hazmat into the Wong. Then that's gonna get a ton of value. Of course, you gotta have Luke Cage down on the floor as well. So the best thing you can do would probably be a Wong into Hazmat Absorbing Man. Then that's gonna generate you a ton of value. You're gonna win by like tens of power. Yep, there's nothing your opponent can do if they don't got the correct counters, like shutting down, say, your Wong with an Enchantress, or preventing your Hazmat play from, triggering with stuff like Cosmo. So there you go. This is how you crush your opponents with a Toxic Miracle deck on turn 6. So even if they try to snap and get you out of the game so you receive less boosters, you can just stay in and force them out with something like a turn 5 Sarah. I mean, yeah, you play your Sarah, you snap, and then they see your Sarah, well, they're already at turn 6. There's not much they can do if they call your play. Yeah, when they see the Sarah, they know. It was at this moment. They knew. They screwed up. Yep. And of course, with the Toxic Miracle deck, your Hazmat is not your only win condition. You also got Gambit here. Alright, when you're playing this deck, when you see your opponent has put down a ton of stuff, then your final play should be Hazmat. But if your opponent plays stuff like, a SHURI deck with only a few cards with really high power, then Gambit would be your choice. You can discard a card and then bam, destroy their cards. So you can pretty much just wipe out their board with stuff like, Wong into a Gambit. Of course, this deck is not extremely hard on the Gambit, so that you don't have stuff like Wong, Mystique, Gambit into an Odin. Well, that is definitely going to clear out your opponent's board. But in this deck, Gambit is just here to deal with those who only got a few cards, but with extremely high power. Okay, and of course, we got, the pure power here, Lizard, Typhoid Mary, and Titania as the final play. Yeah, you play something else, and then you Titania last, then you're guaranteed to have 5 power on the board. Not a bad deal at all. But of course, with this new hot location, Shang-Chi is definitely a game winner. Because, you are down to turn 6 and nobody has surrendered. And bam, a good Shang-Chi play can just win you not only the additional amount of boosters, but also a ton of cubes. So why not? Now moving on to the next deck. I'm going to recommend the Patriot deck. So similarly, with the Patriot deck, you have a ton of good cards to put down earlier, and then your final turns can be very explosive. So your final turn could be a Patriot Mystique play that they don't expect, or you can put down an Ultron if you have already set up, say, your Patriot and Mystique. And that's going to generate you so much power. Yep. Remember, what we gotta do here is survive until turn 6, then we get a ton of boosters. So we can play our earlier turns with our cards with no abilities like Wasp, Misty Knight, Shocker. That's pretty much it. But the Squirrel Girl, Squirrels, the Debris Rocks, the Thing, and then bam, you buff those with your Patriot Mystique combo. Or if you do not fill up your board well enough, you can just play your Kassar, play your Blue Marvel, play your Patriot, and then final turn, bam, Ultron fill up the board. That's gonna be very decent as well. So with a very good setup, so like taking a look at the curve here, you can pretty much just play stuff every single turn, right, to fill up the board, and then you buff them with your buff cards. Even if you can't do that well, your Ultron is going to be here to save the day. So there you go. This is how you play out your Patriot deck. Okay, the best combo you can do here is, I would say, for me, Patriot into a Mystique, and then Ultron. For me, the ideal play is to play, say, Patriot into a Mystique, and then into, say, either Blue Marvel or Kassar, all in the same location. And then your final play would be Ultron at the same location as well. Then your other lanes are going to be filled with these drones, which are buffed a ton of times. So Patriot +2, Mystique +2, and then either Kassar or Blue Marvel +1. That is +5 on each drone. So they are all going to be 6 power, and 24 power per location is no joke. You are pretty much going to win those locations. And there you go. This is how you pilot a Patriot deck. Now, moving on to the final deck. Okay, I am going to recommend a deck that's pretty much going to see a turn 6 every single time. It's going to be Hela Modok. Yep, you hide your stuff behind your Invisible Woman, so they don't know. Okay, yeah, you hide a Modok right behind that, and then you Hela. That's pretty much going to guarantee you a victory. You don't even... Okay, the best case scenario is, of course, you put down your Mobius, you put down your Dracula, and then, you know, for another lane, you hide your stuff behind Invisible Woman. And that's gonna be so much value if you can pull it off. But even if you don't, say, draw your Mobius or Dracula, you just play Invisible Woman plus Modok plus a Hela, that is still gonna be so good. The only thing you gotta be worrying about is the Invisible Woman. Oh, okay. One thing I forgot to mention about the Patriot deck is, in a real game scenario, just don't try to stack all your stuff into one lane, because if they Enchantress, say you Patriot plus Mystique, then you are pretty much gonna lose right away. So what I would like to do is Patriot and Mystique in separate locations, and then try to fill up the board. And that's pretty much it. Okay, now let's go back to Hela Modok. You discard your Apocalypse a ton of times, and then bam, it's gonna get copied by the Dracula as the final play. You discard it one more time, and then this gains +4 power. Usually you have, say, a 20 power Apocalypse in your hand, and your Dracula is gonna be so strong. Then of course, when you discard all these big cards like Magneto, Giganto, and Infinite, then you bring them back with your Hela. There's no way your opponents can contest that. So there you go, guys. These are the 3 decks that I recommend for this particular hot location. Yep, you want to survive until turn 6, then you get a ton of boosters, which is great for everybody. So everybody is getting their dividends. Now, hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash the like button real hard and sub to the channel for free for more awesome Marvel Snap content. And of course, do not forget to check out some of my previous guides on different cards like, Galactus, Thanos, Patriot, all that good stuff. Now have a great day, guys. Enjoy the new hot location, and peace out.